Hey, yo, welcome to the Uncle Show, and today, let's kick it up. We're going digital with the figurized, amplified Kaiser Greymon from Digimon Frontier. And man, what a cool box right out of the start. I don't normally comment too often on the box art for model kits, but as soon as I picked this guy up, I knew I had to put this guy up on the walls of my workshop. Anyhow, I don't think I've ever covered something from Digimon before on this show, but to start off, the show Digimon was always better than Pokemon. It's been almost 30 years, guys. It's time to come clean. The general plotline of Digimon is Earth kids come across these whimsical digital monsters called, well, Digimon, and get into all sorts of shenanigans, both in the real world and in the so-called digital world, which essentially is what if the inside of your computer was a whole living world with living beings inside. Just like the cinematic classic, The Emoji Movie. Brought back that piece of crap from the back of your memory, huh? It's almost 10 years old. I always really liked Digimon growing up, because whereas Pokemon had a very safe formula it stuck to, Digimon wasn't afraid to shake things up. Characters went through troubles and arcs, the threats felt a lot bigger and heavier than those in Pokemon. It could get weird, it could get dark, it could get very emotional. It made me feel funny. But the fourth series, Digimon Frontier, was not my favorite. Mostly because, well, I feel like it took a lot of what I liked about the show and kind of dropped it. There's no longer any interesting connection with the real world, and a lot of the personal character drama is also dropped. And even the idea of having a partner Digimon, the whole point of the genre, completely dropped in favor of having the kids turn into Digimon. But at least with less characters, the kids that are there will have more time for their own arcs, right?
Sorry, but you're still as ugly and weak as ever. You are beyond great, so strong, and really nice. From now on, we're gonna be your #1 fan.
Kaiser Greymon is the upgraded form for series Gogglehead Takuya, the second upgraded level that him and Lone Wolf Koji received because the upgraded fusion forms only they received just weren't enough. With these new forms of Kaiser Greymon and Magna Garurumon, these very powerful, amazingly designed beings of light thoroughly get their asses handed to them for the next 10 episodes to the point their theme song becomes a meme in Japan as the equivalent of the Price is Right losing horn. Okay, for as many problems as the show might have, I will give massive props for the designs of the Digimon themselves. Pound for pound, these are some of my favorite Digimon designs, and I'd love to have figures of a lot of these guys, especially Kazemon and Beetlemon. Figurize when. And Kaiser Greymon immediately appealed to me just for the design alone, and the fact he's gonna be able to combine with soon-to-be released Figurize kit Magna Garurumon into their final form Susanoo-mon. That just tickles me pink. Tell you what else tickles me, your subscription. If you get subscribed and get notified, you'll not only see new reviews, but you can also tune into live streams where I film footage for future videos. Any super chats will also be featured in the video as well. Also, if you like the video, please give a like and comment. Your engagement helps support this channel. Now, back to the video. There's something about a nice big model kit that doesn't absolutely destroy my fingers. The build for this guy was complex, but not overly so. In fact, it was buttery smooth and pretty clever in a lot of parts. In particular, I love that these accents on the legs are done with actual gold plastic and not with stickers, like I feared it would be. That being said, there were quite a lot of stickers on this one. Stickers of all shapes and cancers. Long strips, fold-em-ups, parts that could have just been molded plastic, you name it, they got it. So why am I not as upset? Maybe it's because they're mostly in fairly sensible areas that won't get fingered too much? Maybe because the folding parts actually worked fairly well? Or maybe the patterns were mostly parts that aren't quite as doable with paint? Not sure, but I didn't have nearly as bad of a time putting these things on than most times. But make no mistakes, there are parts that just want to give up and parts that really like to peel. So how about we give it a nice sticker pain index of 2.5. Regardless of how sticky he is, Kaiser Greymon himself looks amazing. It honestly astonishes me that this was a model kit I built with my own 2 hands. This looks more akin to a high-end SH Figuarts figure than a model kit, aside from the stickers obviously. The choices of plastic for the color separation, the more metallic gold plastic used in a lot of spots. I'm actually shocked there are no painted pieces whatsoever on this guy. But I'm also glad because that would have raised the price even more. Also, nice use of these jeweled stickers. While I'm not the biggest fan of stickers, these do give off a very nice effect. Though be careful when pulling them off. You don't want to peel off the jewel from the paper. But maybe that's just from the heat because I live in Satan's asshole. The dark crimson mixed with the shiny gold plastic with the dark gray inner armor is a true visual splendor. Very clever update of the original War Greymon, which overall will be more iconic of course, but not gonna lie, I kinda like this design a teensy bit more. Sorry, I'm just a sucker for giant dinosaur shoulder pads. I should note that this guy is part of the Figure-Rise Amplified range, which basically means he's been slightly redesigned to have a somewhat edgier, stylized design. So a lot has been altered for this guy, such as the design of his horns, the gold trims are less rounded and are more angular, and his forearm armor is a lot smaller. So it's not quite cartoon accurate, but me personally, I actually much prefer this design. The redesigns of the Amplified kits do a great job of keeping what worked about the original designs and just refining them with that premium look that really makes them pop. The only thing I'm not keen on this kit really is the head. The design itself is fine, as is the sculpting, but the choice of color for the mask could have benefited from a more metallic finish or a less saturated color rather than this Kraft mac and cheese head. But that really is the one change I don't like. Everything else looks amazing and do a lot to give this guy a lot of extra dimension and texture. The only other addition for this guy is the backpack, which was found on the original toy as kibble for the final combined mode. You can take it off, but honestly, I kinda dig this design of it. Gives off an effect of flaming wings that looks awesome. Speaking of his back, it's there we find the Dragon Soul Sword, the only real accessory he comes with, so I'll go over it real quick. This mighty blade fits right into his hand, and it's here we find a bit of a gimmick going on. The sword opens up slightly for more of a final attack pose, I think. It's been a while since I watched Frontier. I'm not going through that again, it's like 50 episodes. I want to watch good things. Regardless, the sword looks great and he can wield it easily, both one and two-handed. In fact, this figure has remarkably strong joints and feels quite hefty for a model kit. Almost on par with a proper Figma and Figure Arts figure. In some ways more stable too. Obviously you don't want to be too rough with it, but it means you're going to have no problem posing this guy.
Right then, articulation test time. So, we got a really nice ball jointed head where you look up really far, look down incredibly far actually. And of course, you know, you can turn it, you can tilt it, and it's got a little bit of like a craning neck. I might as well go over the backpack real quick. You can adjust it to kind of get it out of the way. You do have rotation at the shoulder, full 360. You got a very, very small amount of butterfly. These shoulders are on hinge joints, so they can be adjusted. In fact, you can adjust them further inward. There is a rotation at the shoulder, swivel there. You do have what I like to call almost perfect elbows. Still goes up. There is rotation and of course, you know, the ball. You have Bondi's signature ball jointed wrist, so you can just move it in and out. You got a little bit of that sword wielding flex. You can rotate. You got a really far crunching chest. Of course, you know, the back can move back and forth, but there is no side to side. It looks like it should, but there isn't, which is a little bit of a shame. But at least there is a waist swivel, although it doesn't feel like you can go all the way around without it kind of scraping. You do have a really nice spread here. And of course, you got rotation at the hip, really nice. And it can kick up about that far before it starts hitting that. And go back, really good. Go back really well, so nice. You can rotate and do that. Knees can go back really well, you know. These little anklets are a little adjustable, not a crazy, but still nice that it's there. And the feet are really nice. You got a little bit of ankle pivotage, a little bit of rotation, so not the most articulated foot in the world, but it is gonna help you out a lot when posing. So almost forgot, there is a little bit of drop down.
While the lack of side to side is a bit of a shame, the articulation is still really impressive. There's so much that can be moved about, and he does so easily and with such stability. Magna Garurumon is gonna have a lot to measure up to when he comes out. Quite literally too, this guy's huge. And that was the Figure-Rise Kaiser Greymon, and overall, this was a great time with both a wonderful build and a just as wonderful final form. While he doesn't quite have the gimmicks of a regular model kit for now, this still serves as an excellent standalone figure. While Frontier isn't my favorite series, I hope a lot more of the designs get revisited for the Figure-Rise line in the future. Now, the only bummer is this guy is a bit on the pricier side for a model kit. I typically see him for $60 to $70, but personally, I think it's completely worth it. The build was great fun, it feels solid, and just looks so gorgeous. It's so good, maybe I should take a look at some of the other amplified Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Model kits. Lobanda, my advice, figurize Angewomon when. But what about you? What did you think of this figure and Digimon Frontier overall? Did you enjoy the show or no? Let me know in the comments and please subscribe.